Welcome to another episode, everyone. Crybaby teen killer begs the judge to hug his family before he heads off to prison. Why is he heading off to prison? Him and his co-defendant killed a 15-year-old girl. They jumped out of some van to rob her. There was a struggle. One of them pulled the trigger and shot her in the chest and killed her. Him and his co-defendant at first were both pointing the finger at one another as to who pulled the trigger. Neither one of them wanted to take the rap for that. Come to find out, I believe that this is the individual that pulled the trigger. I'm not 100% sure to tell you the truth. Either way, it doesn't matter. I think we'll find out right now. Before he cries and begs the judge at his sentencing to hug his family, let's check out the crime that this man is in here for. Does he deserve to hug his family?
It's March 17, 2024. We're in Cape Coral, Florida. Just before 10 p.m. that night, 15-year-old Ller and her friends were heading back from the Coralwood 10 movie theater. The girls were reportedly heading to a McDonald's nearby when suddenly a car pulled up and blinded them with its headlights. One of the girls would later tell investigators someone got out of the van and tried to rob them. During the chaos, the suspect reportedly pulled out a gun and fired. The shot reportedly hit Kayla in the chest. She was rushed to the hospital where she died from her injuries. By that point, the suspects were already in the wind, and detectives were working to identify them. It didn't take long. 2 days after the shooting, officers had one suspect in custody, 16-year-old Thomas Roy Stein. Investigators say the SUV that pulled up alongside Kayla and her friends had been rented by Thomas's mother. Despite his age, prosecutors ultimately chose to move forward with charging Thomas as an adult. Then about a month after the shooting, investigators arrest another suspect, 16-year-old Christopher Horn Jr. Just like Thomas, Christopher's case was also moved to adult court. Both teens were charged as principals of homicide while engaged in robbery. Then in August of 2024, both were indicted on first-degree murder charges. It would take years before one of the cases even went before a jury. And that's because of a lot of unexpected twists and turns. In early May of 2024, Christopher Horn Jr.'s mom, dad, and aunt were all arrested on allegations of obstruction of justice. The trio was accused of trying to get Thomas Stein's mother to not cooperate with the investigation. In May of 2025, prosecutors reportedly dropped the charges. In September of 2025, Christopher Horn Jr. decided not to take the case in front of a jury and instead pleaded no contest to second-degree murder. As a part of his plea arrangement, he agreed to testify against Thomas Stein for a reduced sentence. And that's exactly what happened when Thomas went on trial.
Where do you live?
In jail.
By the time Christopher testifies in Thomas's trial, he's 18 years old, and he's been held in the Lake County Jail since his arrest. Again, he's testifying as a witness for the state, and his plea agreement is tied to his cooperation, including his testimony in court.
On March 17th, 2024, there was a murder in Fort Myers. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cape Coral. Is that true?
Yeah.
2 months before that, well, strike that. How long had you known Thomas Stein for?
Like a month, probably.
Why'd you get rid of your cell phone?
Okay.
Knew him for a month. Then went out and committed a crime with him, someone that you know for a month. Both of them are foolish, obviously very young, but both extremely foolish for committing a crime with one another. Thomas Stein is foolish as well for committing a crime with him, and you've only known him for a month. Particularly a murder. Commit any crime, period, of course. I'm just making the point that that's foolish. Now, look, he's here on this. He's snitching on you. He's a rat. He's telling. He's a snitch. He's a snitch. Got his whole family involved in it. They're trying to save him. Got themselves involved in the case and caught a case, even though they ended up dropping the case, fortunately for the family. Mother, father, brother, everybody charged with obstruction, and someone was trying to talk to someone's mother and get them not to testify. This and that. You're involving everyone in your nonsense. You committed the crime, so you shouldn't be up here telling. You did it too. Whether you pulled the trigger or not, you did it with someone that you knew for a freaking month. And then shot this little girl in the chest. Oh, how much money does she have? $20? $30? She's walking home. It's random. They didn't know her. It wasn't no, boyfriend and girlfriend type situation. She just walking walking home or wherever she's going, wherever she's leaving. 15 years old. They pull up, jump out of the van, give me your money, try to rob her. Whatever happens, something ensues, and they end up shooting her in the chest. Man, out of here, man. Your ass, get out of here, man.
My phone is linked to them. It's gonna be linked to
Now
the
you
murder scene.
snitching, buster.
You knew the phone was going to be linked to the murder scene.
Yeah.
Don't snitch now, rat.
Did you have plans to commit a robbery on that phone?
What you mean?
Did you have plans
What you mean? What he mean? Just what he said.
to commit a robbery on the phone?
I don't know what you saying.
Did you make plans with anyone that night?
When?
March 17, 2024.
It wasn't really planned. It was out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere?
Yeah.
So, who were you communicating with?
That what you mean?
Who were you communicating with that night prior to the murder?
My co-defendant.
Who besides Thomas Stein?
My cousins.
The plan that you made with Thomas Stein that night, what was that?
You said what was it? It was supposed to go hit cars and kick off probably, but everything turned left.
You said the plan was to go hit cars. What do you mean by hitting cars?
Breaking into the cars.
Right. When you say breaking into cars, do you mean with like a Slim Jim, or do you mean just trying door handles?
You know what I'm talking about, bro. You trying to be funny, bro. You know what I'm talking about. Breaking into cars.
Judge, ask the court to direct the witness to answer the questions.
Sir, you just have to respond to the attorney's questions.
I am.
So, did you have a Slim Jim? Were you actually going to break into the car?
Oh, he real tough, huh? He's real tough. Bro, you can't be tough and snitching at the same time. You up here on the stand snitching, but you want to be tough with the DA. Bro, you know what it is. You trying to be funny. No, he asking you, how were you about to break in the car? Were you going to burst the windows out? Did you have a Slim Jim? Were you going to wait till people came to their cars and tell them, give me your keys? There are different ways to do it. He's asking a fair question. How are you going to break in the car? This old young street punk want to get all tough. You know what? I'm done with this guy. I'm done with him, man. Let's get to this guy over here crying, begging for a hug. That's what I was here for anyway.
Kayla.
Before the judge decides Thomas's fate, he was given one final chance to speak. But his words aren't the only thing that stand out. He also asked the judge for a surprising request.
I just want to use this opportunity to address my victims, Dejae, Emma, and to Kayla's family, and to anybody else who was impacted by this crime, and to offer an apology. On March 17th of 2024, my actions would assist and forever change the lives of many people. That night I was implicated into the murder of Kayla Rincon Miller. And as I reflect on that night, I try to understand the damages and pains that were inflicted. But the truth is, I don't think I could approximate the damage that was done or understand the totality of what everybody went through. And I want you to know that I didn't know that robbery was going to occur, but it was my reaction in fleeing that ultimately played a major role in assisting the perpetrators. I know that it wasn't my intentions, but the truth is, it doesn't change the result. It doesn't change the fact that there was a life taken and innocent people were forever traumatized because of that. That day I made a terrible decision. The decision to get behind the wheel was a total act of selfishness and something I regret and I'm ashamed of every day. I regret the fact that I will impact innocent people who never deserved to go through what they did. I regret the burden I placed on my family, who have always been there supporting me. I know me saying an apology will never fix or undo what happened. But regardless of that, I want to apologize for my actions that night and to say sorry for what you guys been through and what you can continue to go through because of that. And Your Honor, before you sentence me today, I hope you can take into consideration the fact of my youth. I'm capable of change, and I know I can do it. And I know this crime says a lot about me, but it doesn't define me as a person entirely. And I'm remorseful for my actions, and I'm sorry. And I just ask you this one thing. If before I walk out the courtroom, if I could give my family a hug, if you'd allow that.
No, I can't grant that request in here.
Okay, that's fine.
When it came time for the judge to hand down his sentence, he gave Thomas a punishment that would ensure he could never do this again.
The nature of the offense was violent in nature, terrorizing to the victims based on their testimony, and certainly tragic in all manner. The victims had done nothing to encourage violence against them. They did not participate in any way in having an altercation with the defendant or the co-defendant, that they were innocent young women walking home from a movie, which used to be parents were comfortable letting their children out at night, out of the house and be out in the streets. And most parents in this community for many years felt that their children were safe. This is the kind of crime that makes parents afraid to let their children out at night.
Yeah.
And certainly had an impact on the victims and an impact on the community as well. He was 16 years old at the date of this offense. He had a prior experience with law enforcement. He understood that there were laws and there were consequences of violating laws. He understood and appreciated the nature and the use of firearms. There was a video and evidence of him holding a firearm, pointing it into a camera, making rap songs about it.
See? And that's what they do. They take all, I just seen some recently, last night or something, I was watching a show where they took Instagram posts and used it in the court of law. They used it. These individuals were posting gang pictures, pictures of weapons, and they began to watch them when they got onto their Instagram and them posting these pictures of weapons and this and that. This is not necessarily the case here, but it is a situation where the judge is referencing his post and that he made a rap about certain stuff and and that he had a gun, that he has pictures where he's having guns and pointing guns. That's his Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Yeah, y'all better be careful what you post. They're going back and getting it. Yes, he was 16 years old when he committed this crime. At least it seems that he is remorseful. He's up there crying nearly uncontrollably. But that's okay. At least he is remorseful about it. I'm sure he is sorry for what happened. That took a young girl's life, 15 years old. I'm sure he didn't set out to do that. He didn't leave his house saying, I'm about to go commit a murder. They were out there to commit a robbery. And then whatever happened, they took it too far, obviously, then escalated the situation and pulled this trigger. And yeah, there are consequences to this sort of stuff. But unlike the other dude who just seemed to be nearly nonchalant and aggressive even after Yellen took this girl's life, at least his posture is a bit different or a lot different in the fact that he is at least emotional about it. Of course, he's here at sentencing, and the other dude knew that he had already snitched and he was getting his deal anyway, so he over there playing tough. But this dude here is now about to be sentenced, so yeah, what else is he gonna do other than get up here and fall on the sword of the courtroom and the judge and beg for mercy, if you will? But it doesn't look like the judge is in a merciful mood at all.
He indicated that he was comfortable holding and using a firearm. He has indicated that he is remorseful and that he wants to do better in terms of his life, and that he wants to rehabilitate himself and become a productive member of society. That is possible. Whether or not that happens will be up to Mr. Stein. So it is the considered judgment and sentence of this court that Mr. Stein shall be sentenced to a term of life imprisonment in the Florida Department of Corrections with a 15-year review. So we will have that opportunity to make that assertion in terms of rehabilitation after 15 years.
It's unclear where Thomas Stein will serve out his sentence. As of this recording, he's still behind bars in the Lee County Jail. As for Christopher Horn Jr., he's serving his 25-year sentence at a state prison in Doral, Florida. Thanks for tuning into this episode.
Okay, so he got 25 years, the other dude. So he snitched. He still got 25 years, but at least I guess he has a set sentence and doesn't have a life sentence behind it. This individual got a life sentence. The judge said they will review it in 15 years. I don't know how it is in Florida and California. They've been letting lifers go for the last 5 or 6 years. At first, lifers were not getting out. Life meant life in California, for real. You had life, you pretty much doing life. But things have changed. They've been letting a lot of lifers come home. But, he would be a long way away from that just now starting his time. But I'm just saying, the judge, even though he sentenced him to life, even the judge acknowledged the fact that, well, we'll review it again, or they'll review it in 15 years. Basically seeing if you're eligible for parole. At that time, they may tell him, give me another 10 years, and then they probably let him out, something like that. So, he has life, but he has a chance. But there it is. He's crying in court. But at least he was somewhat being remorseful, I suppose. Of course, when you're, faced with life and death, it'll do that. It'll have you crying and remorseful and everything. Wasn't too remorseful on that night. Whoever put the trigger and took the life of this 15-year-old girl, she doesn't get a chance to hug her family anymore. She was just walking home, man. That's crazy. Wasn't involved in anything. It wasn't anything that she brought upon herself, as the judge indicated. She was just going home, just randomly. These individuals jump out of the car and rob her. Of course, this sort of stuff happens every day with innocent people who are just minding their own business. But it's sad. And these individuals are going to have to live with this for a very long time, in the worst way. Because you cannot bring her back. So there you go. There you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. He's there crying, asking for mercy. I don't think he got much mercy. He was sentenced to life in prison. At the end of the day, he may not do life, but he was sentenced to life. And once you get in there, I believe they said that they were in Florida. Once you get into prison, there are no guarantees that you make it out. That's for sure. But you can have 25 days and not make it out, much less 25 years. So let's see what happens with these individuals. Rest in peace to that young lady. That's sad, man. Let me know what you think. Stay safe and stay free, people. Stay out of these kind of situations right here, people. Don't go out robbing people like I used to do with a weapon. Things can go wrong. Take someone's life and you end up with life in prison. I used to rob too. I'm not necessarily judging these individuals, but I wasn't out here just pulling the trigger on little kids for no reason. Do my robbery and I'm out. I'm not trying to kill you. There ain't no beef. It's nothing personal. I don't even know you. No. Stay free.